Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me today in this video. Just a disclaimer, this video is more than likely going to be quite long because I'm covering a lot of stuff in this video. And what we are going to be discussing today is how I download, compress, merge, and organize my custom content for the best performance possible with The Sims 3. And I laugh a little bit when I say that because I don't know, my dude. Like, my laptop is quite a high-end gaming laptop and I have plenty of space, plenty of everything, even with the CC I have, which isn't much, and the minimal amount of programs I have installed on here and how clean I keep my computer, I still have lag issues in my game regardless. Over the weekend, today's Monday for me, over this past weekend, I took Saturday and Sunday and Friday night to test this. I downloaded a crap ton of custom content. I merged a couple of them. I deleted some. I started my game and closed it and restarted it. I did a bunch of testing just to see what would work best and whether or not my lag went down. Now, I could say the thing that helped my lag go down, particularly in build buy mode for some reason, is fixing the whole GPU and RAM and everything like that. So if you haven't already, I would recommend you watch. Okay, so here on my channel, this video, installing and fixing The Sims 3 for higher end computers. So I would definitely recommend watching this and going through all of the steps that I mentioned in that video. And yeah, that definitely helped my computer run a lot faster because I mentioned in that video, I'm not going to go into it in this video too much, but I mentioned in that video how I downloaded The Sims 3 in the past and it just crashed for me, and I literally couldn't have any type of custom content in my game, at all. I literally had to uninstall it because I just wasn't able to play The Sims 3 at all. So, but ever since fixing it with what I mentioned in that video, I have noticed that it is a little less laggy. It does run a little faster and things load a lot faster. So today we are going to discuss downloading custom content, compressing, merging, organizing your CC file or folder or whatever, all that stuff. So, okay, let's get into it. First things first, it requires a little bit of setup to do this. So here on my desktop, I am always meaning to get a desktop that is less confusing than this. Okay, I changed my desktop only because I feel like with this, it's easier to see my icons because I be having crazy desktops. Okay, so these folders here, I keep these on my desktop. I don't get rid of them. You can throw these in your documents, pictures, wherever, but I like ease of access because I'm constantly downloading custom content, Sims 3 custom content. So I like having these here so that it's just easier for me to access, and I'm constantly having a bunch of folders up and I can just click and drag, So put these wherever you want. But okay, so setup wise, you are going to need, I like having a Sims 3 pack files folder, a TS3 backups folder. I don't know why it has the underscore. Anyway, a TS3 backups folder, a TS3 CC folder. This I can actually get rid of. So you're going to need 3 folders: TS3 backups, Sims 3 files, and TS3 CC folders. Okay. Now with this process, these folders are going to be used a lot. And this is quite a process when it comes to downloading Sims 3. I know that people like to do things easy and fast, and no one likes to spend a lot of time. You just want to be able to download your custom content, throw it in your packages folder, and call it a day. But unfortunately, that is not the best way to have a as close to lag-free as possible game. Not lag-free, but as close as you can get it with the computer that you have. Yeah, unfortunately, that method does not work. It may work for games like Sims 4, maybe even Sims 2, but it does not work for The Sims 3, unfortunately. Because The Sims 3 is just... I mean, we all know, like, it's notoriously slow and laggy and jittery and jumpy and it crashes. We all know. So we're trying to help it as much as possible. So you really can't be any type of lazy with this game. And I'm still sort of questioning this method because I don't know what works best. This is what works best for me so far, what I've discovered. So yeah, so basically you're going to need these 3 folders, and also have your packages folder where your CC goes for your game organized. And keep it as minimal as possible is all I could say. So I originally, before recording this video, like literally just up to a couple days ago, had a completely different system in my packages folder. I had a system that I learned by Pleasant Sims on YouTube. And in my Sims 2 folder, I will show you what that looks like. In my Sims 2 folder, this is what my Sims 2 folder looks like. So as you can see, it's got mods, business, mods, careers, etc., so on. And then clothing, AF, everyday, formal, outerwear, shoes. So I used to have something like this in my Sims 3, but even more. I had it where it was like everyday full, everyday tops, everyday bottoms, formal, full, formal tops, formal bottoms. And the reason why I had that was because in The Sims 3, you have the option to choose between everyday full outfits, tops, and bottoms. And same thing with formal outerwear shoes. With TS2, you literally have like everyday tops, bottoms, and fulls. But with formal outerwear, sleepwear, swimwear, underwear, all that, there was only full outfits. You were not able to have, or you are not able to have tops and bottoms for anything else besides every day. And so I didn't feel the need to put that. But in my Sims 3 folder, I did have that. However, I started having the suspicion that maybe this slowed the game down when it came to loading everything, because I had all these folders that the game had to go through. I don't know whether or not that's true. If anyone is smarter than me with this whole thing, please let me know in the comments. As a matter of fact, if you know a lot about this and you've found something that really works, then please just comment down and let people know, let me know, because I'm trying to make my game run as smoothly as possible, okay? And I'm sure other people watching this are as well. So anyways, getting back to it. So what I did was this weekend, I just redid my whole mods folder. So yeah, the only thing that I kept intact, only because I'm just like a highly organized person, and I like when things have their place, you know? And if I have stuff on my computer that's just like willy-nilly, like messy and stuff, I can't have that. I can't have that. I can't have that. So I like to be as organized as I can. So the only thing I kept intact was my mods, all of my mods from the last mod/packages folder layout that I had. So I do have mods, and you can see it's still organized in a specific way. I'm going to mention or go over that in a second. But yeah, you can see here mods, aspirations, careers, cast, clubs. Oh, this is from TS4. We don't need that. Never mind. Essentials, finances, fixes, foods, lighting, miscellaneous, objects, OMS, one more slot pleases, replacements, social and relations, terrains, traits, so on and so forth. And then I have patterns. So that is something that I kept. This is going to continue growing, this folder. This is literally only stuff that I have in my CC folder so far. So for example, with with the clothing, right? You can see here I only have adult female and adult male, and that is because that is the only CC I have for clothing. I only have adult female and adult male clothing. I don't have anything specifically for elders. I don't have anything for kids and toddlers, which I need to download today. That's something that I've been needing to download for a long time now. But yeah, so I don't have anything for any other age group. This is what I have so far. And even for adult male, I don't have adult male swimwear or sleepwear or anything like that. So you can also see that I have no spaces. Now, I learned through Pleasant Sims TS2 video that the game for Sims 2, I don't know if the Sims 3 is the same, but I just have a feeling that a lot of programs are like this, so I just continued to do it. But Pleasant Sims, Cindy on Pleasant Sims mentioned that the game TS2 takes a longer time to read spaces in folders and in custom content names, you know? So you see how here we have Kiko _ gorilla x3 _ rib knit, etc. AFEB _1. Yeah, I like to, like I said, make my game run as smoothly as possible. So again, like I said, I have no idea if this is the same for The Sims 3. It may or may not be the case, but I would recommend using underscores instead of spaces. So instead of having like AF space formal, have AF _ formal, you know? I would recommend that regardless. So that's one thing you can do with your mods folder, right? Another thing that I like to do is I like to have everything not alphabetically organized. It's not that I'm going after like alphabetically organized, but I'm going after everything being lumped together that is supposed to be together. That makes no sense. Okay, I'm gonna explain. So for example, we have athletic, we have AF athletic, right? AF stands for adult female athletic, adult female everyday, formal, outerwear, so on and so forth. Adult male everyday, adult formal. Now, what I meant by what I said earlier that made no sense is if you were to have everyday _AF, like everyday adult female, formal adult female, outerwear adult female, you see how now everyday AF is all the way down here? And then let's do, oh, homegirl, what are we doing? Athletic, adult female. Now athletic is up here. So you have adult female athletic up here and adult female, where the hell did it go? Everyday here. That doesn't work for me. So this is what I mean. You always want to put, at least with my method, you always want to put the, oh my god, I can't find it. See, this is the problem. Here it is. Okay. You always want to put the category first and then the item within that category. Okay? So the category is adult female and the item is athletic wear. The category is adult male and the item is everyday. The category is build, the item is doors. The category is build, the item is columns. Okay? That's how I like to organize it, because then everything in build mode sticks together. You know what I'm saying? Like everything stays together. Everything in CAS stays together. Okay? So on and so forth. You get the gist. So that's how I organize my mods folder, right? And then everything that is everyday for adult female, whether it's full sets, pants, tops, whatever, is gonna go in AF every day. And the reason for that is because I merge my custom content. So as you can see here, we have adult female EB _1, adult female EF _1, ET _1. What this is adult female everyday tops 1, adult female everyday full 1, adult female everyday bottoms 1. All of these are a crap ton of tops that I had for females, adult females, merged into one package folder or file. And then same here, full outfits merged into one, bottoms merged into one. I have a few things to say about merging custom content, okay? I know that everyone who plays Sims 3 does it. I am back and forth about it, and I'll tell you why, okay? But let me just finish up here. So we have that there, right? So some stuff, as you can see here, right? Athletic or adult female everyday, we have this Kiko Gorilla X3 rib knit, right? This is a single package file. These are merged files. So this is like a crap ton of files in one, right? This is solo because I found this after I merged everything. And so what I do is when I download custom content, I just put the custom content in my folder. And once it's to a certain amount of megabytes, that is when I merge it. So I'm right now, I'm like building up part 2. So this is why they're numbered 1, right? Adult female everyday full 1. So this is a top for adult females. I'm gonna eventually down the line download a bunch of other adult female tops, and then I'm gonna merge all of that, and I will call it adult female everyday tops _2. Do you see where I'm going with this? So that's kind of what I'm doing, okay? Just to keep it organized. Now, let me just say with the merging, right? People in the Sims 3 community are back and forth about merging custom content. Some people, I have done a lot of research, a lot of reading about this, and I was about to do it. I saw like a bunch, I had like recommended videos after recommended videos of people saying like how to merge your custom content, how to merge your custom content. And I was like, ooh, let me look into this. So I saw these recommended videos and I watched some of them, and they were for CC Magic. Is that the name of it? Yeah, CC Magic. I saw a bunch of videos about CC Magic. And let me just say, I don't understand how people work with this. I just have to say, if you work with CC Magic, you're smart as hell, because my dumbass could not get the shit to work. I did not understand how to set it up. I don't get it. I was just like, girl, I watched a bunch of videos on how to work with CC Magic, and I just was like, I can't fucking do this. So what I did was I found how to merge CC for The Sims 3. This tutorial on Tumblr by lilasims.tumblr.com. And I saw this one, tutorial for dummies, how to merge CC using S3PE by Super Original Sims blog. But yeah, so I just looked up how to merge custom content with Sims with S3PE because I just could not do that CC Magic. But then I started reading, right? I obviously looking up merging custom content tutorials on Google. I found some people saying like, don't merge your custom content, like merging your custom content is useless and like all this stuff, right? I'm not one to kind of do something because other people tell me I should do it at all. Like that is not my personality. I am very like, if someone says like, hey, you should do this, I'm always the first one to go on Google and look up why this works or why it doesn't work. And then I come up with my own conclusion. You know what I'm saying? So I looked up why you shouldn't merge custom content and just information about merging custom content and people's experiences and stuff. And I have come to several conclusions, which is why I'm so back and forth about it. Sometimes it's better to merge stuff and sometimes it's not. That is the conclusion that I came up with, right? And I know that sounds super confusing, but basically what I discovered was a couple things. So some people were saying that when you merge your custom content, it's better for The Sims 3 to read a single... I read this on like a Reddit post somewhere. I don't know where the hell. I went down a rabbit hole with this research. Some person somewhere on Reddit said, when you merge custom content, it's easier for the game to read one large package file. What am I saying? One large package file versus reading several small package files. Okay, so it's better for the game to read a single packaged file that has a bunch of merged custom content, let's say like 20 pieces of custom content in a single package file, and that package file is 1.83 megabytes, let's say. If you were to look at the size of those files separately, maybe it would come up to 1.56 MB. However, merged, it's 1.86 or 83 MB, right? But apparently, according to this person, it's easier for Sims 3 to read the single 1.86 package file versus all of the smaller package files, each one being like whatever kilobytes, you know? I don't know whether or not this is true. A lot of people are like, you know, it's the internet. People have different opinions. So I don't know whether or not that is true. Another person says that it's easier for the game to read Sims 3 pack files than packages files. And then another person, like, there's just all of this talk all over the place about merging custom content. And then I've read several people mention, like, you know, I merged my custom content and I noticed that my game does not run smoother. It doesn't have less lag. It runs exactly how it used to before I merged my CC. And then there are a crap ton of people that are like, I merged my custom content and my game runs so smooth as if I never had custom content. Like, there are just so many different like factors here that have to go into play. So I kind of came up with my own method according to all of these people. And so that is what I'm going to show you in my video. Is this the one true way to have like the smoothest gameplay possible? No, it is not. I have no idea what the right way or best way, I don't know, okay? Like, this is different for everyone's computer. You have to kind of find what works for you, but this is what works for me, and this is what I'm going to show you. Okay. So let's get into it. So that is just what I have to say about that. So you're going to need a couple of programs, okay? You are going to need S3PE, which looks like this. So you're going to need S3PE. All of these links are going to be in the description, okay? So S3PE by SimLogical. And you are downloading this one here. Downloads S3PE Windows Easy Installer version. You can do the unpack it yourself, but I don't know nothing about that. I'm looking for it as easy as possible, okay? So this is the one I downloaded, right? So you're gonna need that. You are going to need Delphi's Sims 3 Pack Multi-Extractor. Okay, you're gonna need this. Go ahead and download DJS Sims Compressorizer. So this is something that I don't really see Sims 3 players mention often for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they just don't know about it, but the way I learned about this was because I have a Sims 2 compressorizer, this one here, and I was wondering, like, you know, and I use this for all my Sims 2 custom content. And I was wondering, like, is there a Sims 3 compressorizer? That was one of the first things I downloaded after I installed the games onto my computer again. And there is, apparently. So I literally Googled Sims 3 compressorizer and this came up and this works. All the way down here, it says download Compressorizer Redux 1.0 and the Sims 3 Pack CUSTARD Cleaner. I don't use CUSTARD much because I don't use Sims 3 packs. I don't like using Sims 3 packs because I had an incident where I downloaded some Sims 3 pack and I did it through the launcher and it ended up downloading that stupid Arezzo counter, bathroom counter. This right here. Just look up Arezzo counter Sims 3. Google that shit. Google that shit. How do I get Arezzo's bathroom counter out of my game? The Arezzo counter and other bad CC. Some creator uploaded Arezzo counter and then there was like someone who used it in their lot to share with other simmers, and then other people started using it, and then like it became like an infection in The Sims 3, or like a virus in The Sims 3, and it made people's games crash, it made people's games lag, it was causing a lot of trouble. It was to the point where in my Sims 3 launcher, I could not go through my installed content without the launcher crashing on me every time I'm about to get to that Arezzo counter. I had to literally start completely from scratch to get it out of my game, and I lost everything. I lost my saves, I lost everything. I had to get rid of everything because I didn't know what file or what save or what anything had that damn counter in it. So this is what made me start using package files and extracting Sims 3 pack files, because I was not having that. I was not having that. And I still to this day, periodically, like at least twice or 3 times a week, check my Sims 3 installed content in the launcher to see if I have that counter. I suspect it comes from the exchange. If you're downloading anything on the exchange, I highly recommend that you stop doing that. I know that's like heartbreaking, but for real, I recommend you stop doing that, because I'm almost positive that's where it comes from. There are certain things in Sims 3 pack form that you cannot extract, or that it's recommended that you do not extract. I will go over that, but for the most part, I extract everything that is Sims 3 pack files. Anything I download off of TSR, I extract that shit. Like, I don't care. I extract it. But if you are planning on using Sims 3 pack files, you do have the CUSTARD Sims 3 pack cleaner. So feel free to use this if you so choose. I am not going to go over how to use CUSTARD Sims 3 pack cleaner because I don't use Sims 3 pack. Like I said, for the most part, I don't use them. And there are millions of tutorials on YouTube on how to use this program. So feel free to use that. I'm just throwing that in here because the stuff that we are going to download through the launcher, we want to make sure that's clean. Okay, so those are the programs that you are going to need. Now let's go ahead and find some custom content. So I downloaded all of the custom content that I wanted. I downloaded a lot of custom content, at least for me. Like, I know when people say like, oh, I went CC shopping, they download like 100 items. I downloaded a good amount for what I usually download. This is what I've downloaded. 26 items. Not that bad, not that bad. As you can see, some of these are .sims3 pack files and some of them are .package files, okay? Now, 2 things you want to keep in mind when you're downloading custom content and when it comes to like smooth gameplay, or as smooth as you can make it. The first thing is, remember that with The Sims 3, we got the blessing of being able to recolor whatever we want, okay? So you always have the option to recolor custom content. If you see several different dining sets, let's say, and they're all like square dining tables with wooden chairs, and they all sort of have the same style, but they're maybe a little bit different here and there. The biggest difference is that they come with various wood patterns. So what I would recommend doing is actually downloading a crap ton of patterns. All the patterns -ts3.tumblr.com. This is where I find most of my patterns. They have not updated since like 2 years ago, but that's okay. You can always look through and see what you like, because it's an older site and it's reblogged things from like 2017. Sometimes stuff isn't available, which really sucks, but this is mostly where I get my patterns. Going back to downloading those dining sets, right? So if you see you have like 3 different dining sets that are all sort of the same but have different wooden textures to them, you can always just download one of the dining sets, let's say, and the one that you like the most. And then you can always recolor that dining table and those dining chairs with different wooden patterns. And it's like you have a whole new set of custom content. So remember that you have create a style and utilize that, okay? Especially when it comes to custom content, because that's kind of how I CC shop, which is why I don't CC shop too much, because sometimes I see dining tables and I'm like, oh, I really like this one. And then I see another one and I'm like, oh, I really like this one too. But then I realize that they're sort of kind of the same. So I just download one and I recolor that to mimic the other one that I liked, you know? So keep that in mind. Utilize create a style, okay, when it comes to your clothing, your objects, everything. And when it comes to game items as well, like Maxis items, like things that are already in the expansion packs and stuff, like utilize create a style. Look into downloading patterns. Patterns are your best friends when you want to minimize the amount of CC you have, because you can always upgrade something to look better when it's recolored, okay? The second thing you need to pay attention to is polycount. I don't 100% know what polycount means, but I do know just like the kind of gist of it, and I may or may not be wrong. If I am completely messing up, feel free to correct me in the comments, but I always pay attention to polycounts. So polycounts are, let's go here, right? This is Pink Dahlia's Sims of Ice and Fire, I believe is their Tumblr. They have a CC shopping website called Pink Dahlia, and I am addicted to their custom content clothing, let me just say. And it's basically Sims 4 to Sims 3 conversions, and this is where I find a lot of my CC clothing. I do have more CC clothing sites that I like to go to, but particularly for men, because I love men's CC and they really have a lot, and so I like looking through their stuff. And I actually needed a couple of male CC items, so I was on here earlier and downloaded a bunch of their custom content. So as you can see here, I have some of their stuff for men. Again, not a lot. It takes a certain amount of willpower to not download everything, let me just say. Let me just say. But I have learned to rein it in, to be honest. After years of dealing with this shit and like laggy games and crashing, I have learned to pull in the reins. But let's say you want to download one of these items. So a lot of times CC creators post how many polys are in a specific item. The higher the poly, the better the texture. Yes, that's true. But also the slower it will load and the slower your game will run. If you have something in your, if you have CC items where the poly count is like 32, 24, 15, 50, that is gonna slow down your game tremendously. Like that will make your game lag, and you don't want that. That is what we're trying to avoid. So this is why the Sims 3 Compressorizer is your best friend, and this is why it's important to keep an eye on poly counts. For example, I was using the skin, a burnt waffle skin. I don't remember how high in polys it was, but it was maybe like 8K polys or something. And then I found another skin that I fell in love with. It was a kind of realistic skin. It was so freaking beautiful. It had every single element that I was looking for. And I downloaded it and I didn't realize the poly count amount. The poly count amount was 32K. So you go from 5K to 32K, my dude. And I was like, I didn't realize that, but when I loaded my game, it took longer, first of all, to load, especially Cass. And then when I went to put that skin on a sim, it took so long for it to load. And every time I would go into a different section, like everyday tops or formal wear or whatever, it would take forever for that item to show up on my sim. And I was like, why is this taking so long? And then I realized the skin that I downloaded was 32K poly. And I was like, girl, I can't have that. I can't have that. So I had to get rid of it. So that is something you want to always pay attention to, is the poly count of your custom content. Obviously, the better computer you have, the higher poly count you can like afford. But I'm not trying to have really nice, like I would rather sacrifice a pretty skin than the entirety of my gameplay, you know? 8K is me kind of pushing it, to be perfectly honest. I like to keep it at 5K, even 4K or less. I really, really don't like having things that are more than 5K in poly in my game, but some stuff I am willing to compromise. Like there are a lot of CC items that I have that are 8K, but 8K is the absolute maximum I will go. Like 8K is kind of where I stop it. That's me pushing it. Sometimes, depending on the item, I will do 11K, depending on the item. And depending on how badly I feel like need it or want it, I will do like 11 or 12K or whatever. But anything above that, I get rid of. And it is heartbreaking, let me tell you, but you have to make some sacrifices. If you want The Sims 3 to run smooth, you have to make some sacrifices. So anyway, luckily, a lot of Pink Dahlia's things are 8K or less. So like, for example, this raglan sleeve t-shirt is 9K, which is a high poly count. So that is considered high. Some people don't consider 9K high. I would. This is 10K for a t-shirt, my dude. 10K for a t-shirt. Like, what? But like here, for example, is 8K. So this is me absolutely pushing it. However, there is something you can do to lower the poly count, and that is compressorizing. Let's go ahead and start our process. So what we're going to do now that we found our custom content is we're going to divide everything into its proper place. So all of the Sims 3 pack files, I am going to drag into this folder here on my desktop, Sims 3 pack files. That is where I'm going to put that. Okay, so now we have that here. And then anything that is .package, I throw into my TS3 CC folder. So that is that, right? So now we have the packages in here and the Sims 3 pack files in here. So the first thing I do is I open my Sims 3 pack multi-installer, and this is what it looks like. And basically you are looking for the folder on your desktop. So you go into desktop or wherever it is. And then I click on Sims 3 pack files because that's where the Sims 3 packs are. And then I click OK. And then I also click this, rename files on save, only valid for Sims 3 packs with single packages in them. So what this does is if you uncheck this, it will extract things, but the name of that file will just be random letters and numbers, and you won't know what the hell you just extracted. This makes sure that when I extract Irving dining table, the file will say Irving dining table. Obviously, like it says in the program, this only works if it's a single item. So if you downloaded a lot that's a Sims 3 pack files or Sims 3 pack file and you extract that, you are going to get a bunch of random letters and numbers because that lot has a bunch of CC, let's say. And yeah, like it says, only valid with single packages, but I always keep that checked regardless. So this is the folder that contains the Sims 3 packs, right? Now select where you want it to extract to. I just choose the exact same folder. I want it to extract in this folder as well. So basically the same folders, and you just click extract and it's done. Took like a second, literally 1 second. So now you have all of these package folders. So then I just delete all of these Sims 3 pack files. And then I take these and I just throw them into my TS3 CC, and that's that. That's the first thing I do. Now, when I go in here, this is the stuff that I want to compressorize. I compressorize everything, literally everything. Now, There is kind of an issue when you compressorize stuff sometimes that you have to pay attention to. This is just a matter of preference and a matter of how much you care about like textures and stuff. And same goes with merging your custom content, by the way. So like, for example, I noticed that when I compressorize certain things, especially anything that has a higher poly count, like 32K or 12K or something, I noticed that the texture quality goes down a bit. Sometimes it messes up completely, like the texture is just like completely messed up. And yeah, it really sucks. But what I end up doing is I just delete that file and I re-download the item if I decide I want it. Usually I don't. But if I compressorize something and I notice that it made the texture go down, and if I really want it, I just re-download it and then I don't compressorize that single item. But most times I'm like, I don't think I need this, to be honest. And then I just delete it and that's that. This, however, happens like very rarely. It doesn't happen often. I feel like 95% of the time when I compressorize stuff, the textures are fine. So yeah, and I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of like high quality texture. I don't play with the HQ mod. I feel like that'll just slow it down even more. But yeah, I don't mind sacrificing a little bit of texture. Like it literally isn't even that bad. You barely even notice, like, so I don't mind it personally, but that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing is when you merge custom content, sometimes you also lose some quality in the textures as well. And you can, again, and this is why it's important to keep backups. I'm going to go over that after I do this. So now we want to compressorize. So open up your Sims 3 Compressorizer and you're going to add all of these files. So this goes by folder, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is click down here. I click mode normal. I don't know what decrapify means. I've never used that. I don't touch it. No idea. But I click add files to list and it's going to bring you here. And I click on the folder that my package files are in. This is why I keep these on my desktop because it's just easier to find in these programs. So click on TS3CC, okay, and here's all your packages. And this is where you see how big they are in megabytes, I believe. So they're not very high in poly or in megabytes, honestly. Like you have 1,000 megabytes, 631. So it's not that bad, but still it's best to compressorize as much as you can because you want to save space. So now I'm literally just going to click on go. And now it's going to reduce this. So you see how it goes from 1495 to 1202, 631 to 499, so on and so forth. And then it tells you at the end how much you've saved. So you've saved 8 megabytes of storage. That's wild. Then I click clear files and I just close that. So I've saved 8 megabytes. Sometimes it's up to like 32 megabytes of storage. And it's like, holy shit, that's crazy. That's why I use that program. It's my best friend. Okay. So now if I just select all of these and right click properties, I see, right? This is about 30 megabytes. Now let's merge them. Basically, this is confusing. Don't pay attention to anything. Just do what I do, right? First thing you're going to do, this is with any single SimPE program, to be honest, whether you're using S3PE, SimPE, you're always going to file new. You always want to start on a fresh blank canvas. I don't know why. That is just something I've learned from using SimPE, from using S3PE. Just do it. Okay, so file new is the first thing you're going to click. Now, before we do all of this, we want to organize everything in its separate section. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and type in merged _ art Vitalex because that's the name of the creator that created all of this object custom content. And then this is basically custom content for adult males. So this is what I did. All of this, packages, adult male everyday. So I didn't merge the adult male everyday folder in my packages folder because I wanted to download more stuff before I did that. So I'm just going to drag the files in my adult male everyday folder in my packages into the TS3 one, so that now I can merge all of this together. So before I do that, however, I want to go in my TS3 backups folder on my desktop. Remember, I told you to make that file. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to back all of these files up. Okay. The reason I do this is because, like I said earlier, when you merge custom content, sometimes some of the CC items mess up. Like sometimes it comes out with weird looking patterns and it just doesn't look good at all. Like the texture is messed up and you're thinking, why did I merge this? I should have left that one piece alone. And then everything else looks great, but it's just that one content item, right? So make backups of these files, my dude. So in my TS3 backups folder, I'm going to make a new folder and I'm going to title this AM for adult male underscore everyday underscore backups. Hello, girl. You don't need to do underscore in here because this is just a folder on your desktop, but I'm so used to doing it because of The Sims that I always use underscores for everything. But yeah, so the way you make a backup is you select what you're backing up, Control C for copy, or you can just right click copy, whatever. I always use keyboard shortcuts, and then Control V paste. And those are my backups. Now I have a backup of all of these items that I'm going to be merging. So that way, in case of when I merge it, that doesn't make any sense, but we're continuing. If something comes out wonky looking, I can get rid of that merged file that I made and go back into my TS3 backups, go back into my adult male everyday, remove what messed up. Let's say like 3 items messed up, merge everything else again, and leave these 3 alone. So let's continue. Now I'm going to make a new folder and I'm going to call it adult male E for everyday. I don't really care what this is called because it's not going in my packages folder. So we're just going to throw all of these in here. So now that they are compressorized and in their separate folders and backed up, let me back up this Art Vitalex one though. Hold on. Now that they're all in their separate folders, they're compressed, they are backed up in my TS3 backups, now we can merge them. Okay, so S3PE, as I was saying, file, new. We already did that, so we're not going to do it again. Right click, import as DBC, desktop, TS3CC, there's our folders, merged Art Vitalex. You're just going to select everything. I just click Control A to select all of them and then open. And now it's going to ask you to save as. So you want to save this as whatever name you want to give it, whatever it is. So all of these are Art Vitalex items. So when I do a certain creator's items, I like to just title it Art Vitalex or whatever creator. If the creator is, you know, Counters, Susie Counters 101, I don't freaking know. You're going to call it Susie Counters 101, etc. Art Vitalex _1. Hi everyone, this is Editing Diana. So something I completely forgot to mention while making this video is the stuff that you should not merge. And I learned about what you shouldn't merge through several YouTube videos and doing my own research on Google. It is recommended that you do not merge sliders, mods, counters for some reason, default replacement, like default replacement clothing, skin, hair, eyes, any sort of default replacement, and patterns as well. And any other package file that you're not throwing into your mods folder, so if it's going in your library or your saved sims, don't merge those either, okay? So you don't want to merge anything in your library or saved sims or anything like that. You only want to merge custom content, okay? And the things you should avoid with custom content is sliders, mods, counters, default replacement items, and patterns. And then I'm going to click save. And now it's basically merging everything. And then it's done. Literally. All of this, ignore that. Now I'm going to click File, New. And I'm going to do right click, Import as DBC, TS3CC, Adult Male Everyday. Now I'm going to select everything. Open. I'm going to save it as adult male everyday _1, save. And it's going to do the same thing. Sometimes it freezes up like that. I don't know if you saw how it was like freezing up because the files are pretty big. So it's just like working. Don't exit. If you see it saying not responding, just be patient. Give it time. So this one is taking a while. It can take anywhere between like 5 seconds to 30 seconds to 1 or 2 minutes at most, I feel like. So I'm just going to let that do its thing, but I'm going to go ahead and show you in TS3CC. So, okay, it's done. Great. So now I just close S3PE because I'm not going to use it. But now we can see here we have merged art Vitalex, right? And this is our merged art Vitalex folder. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this into, I can get rid of everything besides that merged file that I made. And I'm deleting it because I already have backups of it. So now I'm just going to move this whole folder, merged art Vitalex, into my packages. So now I have merged Lulu265. You see how it says Lulu265 _1? And the reason why it says 1 is because, oh, where am I going, girl? I may download more stuff by Mutski or Mutski or Mutske. No idea how to say that. I may download more stuff by Lulu265 or Art Vitalex. And if I download more stuff, I will name that merged file as Art Vitalex _2. So that's where that comes from. And then in my adult male everyday, I'm just going to delete everything besides that merged file that I made. So now I'm going to look for AM everyday, and I'm just going to drag this in there. And there we go. So that is how you merge. Now, something to keep in mind. This is what I was talking about way earlier in the video, that sometimes it's like, why should I merge files? What's the point? Because if you see here, this AME merged package that we made, if we go into properties, it is 62.5 megabytes. That one package, right, is 62.5. If you select everything you merged, all the single files, and you go into properties, this is only 50 megabytes. So it's only like 15 megabytes bigger, the single merged package. So it's kind of like, okay, that's not a big deal. I'll just keep the one package in there, which I will. But if sometimes it's stuff like, what was it that I was about to merge? And I was like, no, let me not, because it was so much bigger. Oh, my roof patterns. Yeah, my roof patterns. So I noticed that build roofs, when I merged, so all of these roof patterns, single, they are 9.25. When I merged all of them, it turned out to be like 30 megabytes for the single package. And I was like, why is it so much more? And this is what I mean. You have to pay attention to this stuff. So it went from 9.25 with single files versus 30 megabytes for one merged file. I was like, I would rather have my game load 9.25 megabytes than 30 megabytes. Like, again, like I said, I don't know if it's true what that one person said, where the game is better at loading one large package file rather than a bunch of small package files. I don't know. I honestly haven't played enough yet to notice a difference. I don't know. So that may or may not be true. 1 to 15 megabytes more, I'm okay with. But if it's like 20 megabytes or 40 or 50 megabytes higher, then I'm just like, no girl. Like, no girl. I'd rather keep the single files. So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing is, I have read various sources. I'm just going to start the game up. I have read various sources that say when you are merging files, you want to make sure that everything you merged is less than 200 megabytes. So if your merged file is 180 megabytes, for example, or 50 megabytes or whatever, that's fine. But as soon as it gets to 200 or more, you want to decrease the amount of packages that you're merging. I don't know why that is. That's something that I've read. Another thing I've read is people contradicting that and saying, no, you can go as many megabytes as you want. The thing that you have to pay attention to is the amount of files that you merge. So it doesn't matter if it's 200 meg or if it's 1,000 megabytes or whatever, which I guess is 1 gig, right? I don't know megabytes, gigabytes. I don't know any of that, but just make sure that you merge 100 files or less. It can't go over 100 files. So some people say it can't go over 100 files. And some people say you can't go over 200 megs in the file. So what I do is I just make sure that it's both under 200 megabytes and that it's less than 100 files. So now I'm starting up my game because I want you to see the textures of the merged custom content. So basically we're going to find out whether or not the CC we made is, if it's messed up or if the textures got ruined or what happened. But that's okay if the textures did get ruined because we have backups of those files. Okay, so my game has loaded. Let's go into build by because we have a couple of items in here. So I did download some Arezzo stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw some in here so we can check out these textures, okay? So we have the Kansas dining table and look, it's perfect. Nothing got ruined. Yeah, that looks great. Here is the Irving dining table. Also looks great. I find that object custom content, like counters, chairs, tables, beds, and stuff, don't ever get ruined, to be perfectly honest. I really love this table. Oh my god. So I'm going to use Art Vitalex's Downy seat because I freaking fell in love with it. Look how pretty this looks. So our textures are definitely okay. I don't see anything wrong with the textures at all. Maybe it's not high quality enough for some people. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Let's go into Edit Town, create a sim, or you know what? Let me just use one of my sims real quick. Hold on, where's Lucas? This is the other family I'm going to be using in my Kit Island LP. Oh my god, this nose mask though. This is why people need to make nose masks for sims with darker skin tones. Like, I'm so sick of this. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna use NRAS. Master Controller, Advanced, Edit in CAS. Okay, so here we are in CAS with Lucas, whose nose mask I am going to get rid of. Okay, let's go into our clothing. Yeah, so you see how this piece is kind of like messed up, the shadows. You see the textures here, how they're kind of messed up. That I find is okay because in game, you don't see that for some reason. I don't know why. So don't be too quick to judge in CAS. Always check it in your game as well. Unless you exclusively use CAS. I mean, I don't know. That's weird, but you do you. You do you. Okay, so I'm just going to go into custom content items. Okay, so these are the Sims of Ice and Fire, Pink Dahlia website downloads that I did today, or downloaded today. And this is what it looks like even if it's merged. Really does not look that bad for me. I have low standards, I guess. I don't know, but like, it doesn't look bad at all. Like, look at this. It looks fine to me. Look at this. So, yeah, that is basically how I organize and merge, compressorize, and everything my custom content in my game, because I'm trying to have a smooth game. I want it to be as lag free as possible. That is that for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm so sorry that this video is so freaking long and that I was just blabbing the whole time. But yeah, that is that for this video. If this video helped you, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment. If you have any questions, I will try my best to answer them if I know the answer. If I don't, I'm sorry. But a quick Google search, I'm sure maybe you can find your answer. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.